Okay. At a recent meeting of the Joint Policy Committee of the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, Association of Bay Area Governments, the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, and the Bay Conservation and Development Commission, a report declared that 85% of our transportation will be by private automobile through, anyone want to guess the year that they have projected in their report? Any guesses? 2035. That's been true basically for the last several decades. 85% of our transportation needs have been served by private automobile, in spite of the fact that we've had some major infrastructure investments. Why would that be the case? Because public transit does serve certain elements of the population very well, mainly people that go from one rather concentrated area on a regular commute run to another rather concentrated area. But it doesn't serve people well that have to go to a lot of different places in short periods of time and combine different events and errands. A good example would be a family that has to drop off their kids at school on the way to work. Very difficult to do by public transit. But private automobiles have been called personal rapid transit for that reason, because you can efficiently manage your affairs in a car. People aren't stupid. They make decisions and make choices based on what will work for them. The JPC is a very well-respected commission, and they absolutely are projecting 85% of our needs still will be by private auto. So that raises the question, what are we going to try to do? Are we going to try to take major thoroughfares like Telegraph Avenue, the major north-south thoroughfare in the south side area of Berkeley, and convert 50% of its capacity to a bus line that's pretty darn close to BART already? Is that a good idea or not? Well, the fact is they have not done good origin destination studies of actual automobile drivers on Telegraph to determine what would happen if half of the lanes are taken away. They've made projections based on computer models, but they have not done the one thing you really need to do. Origin destination studies. Actually survey the drivers and ask, why do you use Telegraph? How often do you use it? What would happen if you lost half the capacity of the road? That is essential information to have any accurate predictions. And based on my usage of Telegraph, I virtually never go to downtown Oakland. What I do, like many people do, is go access the freeways. You may notice if you've driven around, the freeway off-ramps, many of them connect to Telegraph Avenue because Telegraph is a major thoroughfare. We've designed an integrated transportation system around that. If we convert Telegraph to a one-lane or two-lane road, let's say, each direction one lane, we're still going to have the freeway on-ramps that go onto Telegraph. People are still going to use Telegraph to get to the freeway. That's not going to change. We are going to cause extreme congestion on Telegraph Avenue. And when you do that, there are costs. It diverts traffic into neighborhoods. It congests other roads. It makes it difficult for merchants to count on delivery of goods. Another very key issue to think about when you're talking about changing a major thoroughfare. Goods need to be moved. This campus needs goods. All the businesses along the Telegraph corridor need goods. So we need to think very carefully about these issues if we're going to make a conversion like that. And I did want to respond to one point Jim Conradi made today. He talks a lot about growth projections. ABAG is demanding or expecting certain densification of Berkeley, the city. UC Berkeley is saying, we're going to grow, grow, grow. How many students more? How many programs more? Well, these are land use assumptions and growth assumptions that aren't written in stone, and they didn't come down from any mountain on a tablet. These are decisions people can make and that people can reconsider. A lot of people think that this hyperdensification of the Berkeley area is not appropriate and it's not smart because it's going to change the very character of our city. So taking those as gospel means you're buying into an assumption that is not based on the actual needs of many citizens in this town. And I actually dispute those assumptions for that reason. And the last thing I want to say is this. One of the main problems with transit, and this is also in the same report that I read from the JPC, Joint Policy Commission. They said one of the worst things about transit in this area is the transit companies do not work together. There are 26 different competing transit agencies, all running around trying to get customers for themselves. And they have different jurisdictions. So if my girlfriend, she has to take AC Transit to the BART station. That's $1.75, soon to go up to $2. Then she has to take BART into San Francisco. That's another $3.80 or $3.90, soon to go up. Then she has to take Munich for another $1.50, and then do the same thing back. Other cities do not have this kind of lunatic arrangement. They don't. They recognize if you're going to take a trip, you should have a seamless fare and a seamless way to travel without everyone, here, a handout everywhere you go. Pay me, pay me, pay me. That discourages people from riding transit. And students, you have a good deal on AC Transit, but you have to pay for BART. The transit agencies need to work together to decrease the price of travel and to make their routes more fully integrated and more well-timed so people can count on transit working well. And that's my comment.
Thank you very much, both of you.